Welcome back to the Pedal Dance Podcast. This is your co-host, um, Crystal, Ty, Chris, without the toll. And our topic today um, involves Pokemon spin-off games. We're not going to focus on the spin-off games that currently exist. Our topic is like top three spin-off ideas that Pokemon should either start off from scratch or to build upon. And yeah, you can just let us know what you think in the comments afterwards, even post your ideas. But without further ado, we each have three preferred ones. Two of us have honorable mentions. I will turn this over to Ty to start with the first honorable mention.
Okay, thank you for that, Crystal. I'm beginning to wonder if I should mix it up a little bit or what have you, because I don't know. One of the electives that I wanted was off of an existing spin-off. So, because I think the other one that would have been my honorable mention would have been more unique, maybe I should make that one the honorable mention instead. So, do you think I should do that?
It's up to you. You can even have two honorable mentions if you'd like.
All right. Okay. So, well, no, I think I think I will do that. So, my honorable mention is going to be Mystery Dungeon, even though I know it's been a thing, or what have you. I am never disappointed with new Mystery Dungeon games. I'm always looking forward to them. So, yeah, that's one spinoff I don't ever want to see it die. So, but because it already exists, I'm going to make that my honorable mention. Is that fair?
Oh yeah. Did you want to do another honorable mention, or was that it?
That was the only one. I had it swapped with my number third pick. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess going to my honorable mention, and of course the Mystery Dungeon games are fun, so yeah, that definitely needs to live on.
Mm-hmm.
But my honorable mention is also going to piggyback off a little bit. As mentioned in other podcast episodes, I think the Pokemon Coliseum and XD Yellow Darkness games are the best in the entire series currently. So if they remade Pokemon Snap, they have no excuse not to continue this. Either remake it into like one giant game, or remake both, or make another like continued version of the shadow games, as I'd like to call them. That is something that I could have easily added on top of my list, but because of how often I've mentioned it in podcasts and how it would just be too easy for me to just go into and say, I just decided to make it an honorable mention.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair statement as well. I kind of would also like to see them get redone or rebooted or whatever for the Switch. That would be a nice little turnaround.
And before we get into our top three lists, before we forget, we have a
Okay.
Pokemon of the podcast.
Oh yes.
So, the Pokemon of the podcast is inspired by today's theme, Pokemon spin-off games. We researched, other than Pikachu and starters, what Pokemon makes frequent appearances in a lot or most all of the spin-off games. After it was introduced, there were two that really stood out, two that are always clumped together as a pair, but one of them appears in one more game than the other. That Pokemon of the podcast is Plusle and not Minun, because Coliseum did not like Minun apparently. But yeah, they're also playing key roles, like they're the main sidekick Pokemon in the Pokemon Ranger games, for example. And they even had an award and um, partially programmed in the Super Smash Bros. Game. Like, they are very wide-reaching. You just have to actively look for them in these side games, but there are most of them, actually. But yeah, that's why Plusle is the Pokemon of today's podcast.
Okay.
But, yep, so I guess without further ado, we can get into our top three for Pokemon spin-off desires. So, Chris, since you haven't had the chance to speak with us yet, would you like to start off the list?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I just want to say that while making these lists, we did consider whether or not we wanted to allow remakes or stuff like or something like that, or if we just wanted to stick to something completely new. But as you could tell with their honorable mentions, we are including remakes. And well, sort of. But anyway, my number 3 pick is a remake, or at least an extension, which is XD and Coliseum. By far my favorite spin-off games, period. They were just top-notch, fun to play. I loved XD a little bit more than Coliseum, even though obviously I never got to play Coliseum. I've seen playthroughs, but I got to play and beat XD. I love the fact you were able to choose which Pokemon you wanted to evolve your Eevee into. And it was just fun from start to finish. And I would really love to see new teams, like a new bad team. I want to see the fact that you can evolve your Eevee into more evolutions this next go around. I want to see a more whatever the word, a bigger, there we go, a bigger region, more Pokemon. There's just so much that they could do with either a remake or an extension of the XD and Coliseum games. And honestly, like Crystal said, if they can make Pokemon Snap for the Switch, a new Pokemon Snap game, there's no reason why they shouldn't have a remake of these or just a new one altogether. And I will have that pre-ordered as soon as it gets announced, if it ever does.
Same here.
Yeah, I would too, without a doubt.
Maybe you'll actually play this one.
Yes, I will, because I am a handheld gamer.
That's all I heard.
I'm giving you this dreadful look right now that you just can't see.
Yeah, I can't really see, so it's not really working.
And the shade starts.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
All right, so who wants to go next?
Yeah, Ty, did you want to go, or did you want to go last for the first ones?
Oh, I was gonna let you pick, Crystal, but yeah.
Flip a coin. Oh wait, play rock paper scissors.
I was thinking that too. Rock, paper, scissors. I chose rock.
Well, see, I always choose scissors first, but I don't really like the idea that I just gave out my strategy. So.
Well, at least I know how to play against you now.
Well, I guess metaphorically, I just won, so I guess I'll go next, I guess.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay, so my number 3, it might sound like a cop-out in a way because of the recent spinoff that was recently announced, but this is something I actually wanted years ago. In the original Pokemon anime, we saw I guess you could label them ancient Pokemon with a Gengar, an Alakazam, and Jigglypuff, eventually putting everyone to sleep, and they were all just growing in size and they had markings on their bodies. Do you all remember that?
The
Yes.
Island of Giant Pokemon.
No, not that, not the
No, not
giant
that one. No.
Pokemon one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you were talking about now. Yes.
Yeah, so they haven't really touched on that in the anime after they first did that, but I thought that could have been something that could have branched upon for like a spin-off game, like Pokemon in medieval ancient times in which Pokeballs did not exist, so Pokemon were just kept in some magical artifacts and they were summoned. Of course, it being so far back, some evolutionary lines in Pokemon did not exist, but as you can tell with the Gengar, Jigglypuff, and Alakazam, they more than made up for their like lack of megas or extended evolutions. Um, and they could also introduce the concept of having sorcery involved in Pokemon because when you're thinking ancient medieval times or beyond that, like this is a concept that's constantly, well, not constantly, but frequently used in a lot of other series that you all can probably think of examples where sorcery magic was used back in the day and now in present time it's not anymore. Like you all can think of examples of that, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so I'm not too crazy. Um, but yeah, just essentially having a spin-off game of like how that would be implemented and touching base with some magic, working more collaboratively with your Pokemon in battle, ruins. Like, I think that would be pretty cool.
So this is basically Pokemon meets demonology. This is awesome. I love this idea.
Oh yeah, and Pokemon Legends seems like it might touch on that a little bit, but not as extreme as I see it.
Fair enough. Yeah, demonology is a touchy subject, but hey, I dig it.
Well, I mean, I thought they came close though with Pokemon Conquest, but yeah, that does touch base a little bit on what I wanted to see more of as well. So, yeah, but so with that being said, though, I guess it's time for my number 3, and my number 3 isn't actually about conquest or anything like that. It's actually something more that my brother would desire. I feel like my brother would very much stay in the Pokemon franchise inevitably if they made some sort of Pokemon sport game. Okay, like I know there was this one time where like uh, I believe it had something to do with them hosting the Olympics in Tokyo or whatever. They made these Pokemon outfits with these soccer uniforms or jerseys or whatever, and they just had like this art done up of all the Pokemon in like these soccer uniforms. I was thinking if they actually took that concept and made it a game, I'm pretty sure my brother would be full on board for something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, what would y'all think? Would y'all play something like that, or is it too sporty for y'all?
Well, I personally wouldn't play it, but I think that's an excellent idea because I can draw more people into the Pokemon franchise and fan base, kind of like what Pokemon Go did.
It
Yeah,
sounds good. I would just have to see how it plays before I would actually say I would want to play it. Because not all sports games are good.
yeah, that's fair. But like I was thinking, like also maybe a Pokemon baseball because I know baseball is a huge sport in Japan, and I know my brother's into that. I know my brother is really into golf as well. So like, there's endless potential there. So,
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be pretty cool. Just
oh,
hopefully it's not a missed opportunity and they mess it up.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for
So
the
I guess. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I think that's a really great thing that they could market on. Just put some research and effort in it, and I think it could take off.
Oh yes. So I guess with that said, Chris, you're up for the second one of your list.
Are we gonna rotate?
Are we? I don't know.
I mean, just whatever your preference. We can just keep going in the same order, or we can just all take a number that we haven't before. Like I was the one that went second, so this time around I could go first or third, for example. And then on the last one, I can go whichever one I have not done the first two
Yeah.
rounds, and you all would follow the same pattern.
Right.
Okay.
So do you all have a preference between one or the other?
Either way is fine with me.
I don't really care either. I'm unbiased. So.
We are not very decisive people, so I guess we'll just do the we're all gonna get a chance at each of the numbers. So since I went second, I guess I could go first this time. Um, Taya, since you went last, you can go second this time, and then Chris, you can go third this time if that's all right.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Okay, so I guess for my number two on my list, um, I don't see this one being a huge hit personally, but this is more of my preference, um, just unique to me. I think that they should make, well, if they have a Pokemon game like Pokemon Snap, I say, like, why not make this game? Like a Pokemon design game in which there's a lot of robust artwork you can do to design your own Pokemon. And the Pokemon creators can even take a few samples here and there, modify for future Pokemon games. That has been used in other franchise and other series. That has been done before, maybe not in the concept of a game, but just in general using fan submitted or inspired artwork. And you can even dress them up for shows, not just like Fakemon, but like even real Pokemon. You can dress them up in shows, you can take them in Pokemon contests. Essentially, have a journey focused on like what the side characters in the Pokemon anime, like Dawn, May, what they wanted to do and make that primary, not secondary in these main adventure games where gym badges aren't really a consideration. So it's just like design, artwork, the pizzazz in it. Like I think that could be a really great spin-off game, personally.
So like a Pokemon runway model?
In a way, yeah.
It's a fashion show.
Interesting.
It's like a Pokemon contest.
Basically,
Yeah, so you
Pokemon
can show off
contest.
Fakemon, you can show off fashion designs, you can do what's already embedded with the contests that already exist in the games. Just make this a big, like, splash kind of game.
I can see that because I really think that the Pokemon contest itself has a lot of room for expanding. So I could actually see something like that.
Yeah, I guess it's overdue. They did touch base on it a little in the Hoenn region, and it's just kind of like they dropped it from there because of whatever reason. I'm not sure. So
I guess it was just exclusive to Hoenn, I guess.
I think they tried to modify it a bit in the other generations. Like, they had a little something for Gen 4 and Gen 5, and then, nope, we're just not going to touch base on that again. Like, I think it was most successful during the Hoenn region, and yeah, they need to pick that back up, but I guess not to harp on it too much. Ty, what's your number two?
okay, so my second pick here, I was thinking that what they could do is everybody I know is asking for like a Pokemon Grand Theft Auto type of game. And honestly, I don't think they're wrong, but it might be a little too elaborate for Pokemon. So the suggestion I'm going to pitch instead is why don't they put out a game where you can play as Team Rocket or whatever, like and maybe not just Team Rocket, but like Team Magma, Team Aqua, or and all of them as well for that matter.
Pick
Maybe
your
they could
favorite
start,
bad guy team.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. It'd be like having red, blue, and yellow. Only be Team Rocket, Team Magma, Team Aqua. So like, but yeah, they could start branching off a new spin-off series of you just going through the motions as the bad guy instead of the hero. I think that'd be cool. I would definitely invest in that.
And it's
Oh,
so funny you mentioned like a Grand Theft Auto like game because I was actually thinking that as well, but I'm like your train of thought too complex for the Pokemon Company, and I'm thinking not appropriate for the Pokemon Company.
right, because
And
Pokemon's just too family friendly for that.
oh
Mm,
yes, but yeah, playing as the bad guys, I think that's long overdue.
yes.
Although with Chris's comment about being family friendly, I'm not sure if they would allow that or not. If they
Yeah.
allow that, I think that would be really great. I think it could be a huge hit. Like if Disney can make movies making the villains likable characters like Maleficent, then I don't see why Pokemon can't do this.
Exactly. And besides that, like, I mean, it seems to me like they've really touched base on the fact that most of their fandoms are adults anyway. So, like, even if they have to give it like a teen rating, like, I really do think it's doable. So,
And there's a lot of stuff you could do with that as well. I mean, starting as a grunt and actually trying to work your way up to like an executive member of a certain team. And
yeah,
then not only that, but have like later on have like Wi-Fi capabilities to where people who are on your team that are like local or over Wi-Fi have like battles with other teams. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah,
Oh yeah, and on top of that, like you can get to an executive position and then at the end of the story you can choose like to take over Giovanni or
yeah.
Right.
um whomever, and then from there you can choose to essentially be a bad guy boss or just dissolve the company and have a positive ending in case they need to have that spin, that option in a Pokemon game.
Endless opportunity. That's all I see. All right. So, I would say, was there any other points we wanted to bring up, or did you want to take over?
Um, Crystal, do you have anything?
I am good, so without further ado, you can talk about your number two.
All right, my number two. My anybody who knows me knows my favorite part of the Pokemon community.
Mm,
Of course, ECG.
Yes, I'm a lover of all things Pokemon card related, and I would love a spin-off game. I know they had the Game Boy game, the Pokemon TCG Game Boy game, and the unreleased sequel to it that was only in Japan.
Not to
But
mention the virtual console.
say what now?
The virtual console.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's still that same game.
Yeah, it's just nothing redone about it. Just showed up again.
Right. What I want is a Pokemon TCG game that starts you out from the beginning, from the base set, the original set, and you actually work your way up through the years, playing through each set and each format, starting from base. Then you go to Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket, the gem sets. Then you go to Gen 2 with the Neo sets. And then you play different tournaments, gain experience. And later on, when all the different um, mechanics get introduced, EXs, primes, level X's, other mechanics like Delta species, just stuff like that. And being able to just work your way up to modern modern sets. And what would be cool, and the reason this would be so cool is the fact that there's so much room for replayability because you could go back through those old tournaments with different decks and different strategies. So the playtime would be just endless because there are so many deck combinations that you can make with each format that passed, even in the older games or in the older formats.
Hmm.
And also, that would teach a new generation of Pokemon TCG fans how the older game was played.
Yeah.
Just showing how different it is from then to now, because it's totally different.
Well, I don't know if they'll be able to put in like the entire sets or what have you, because I don't really know the limitations based on video games or what have you. But I'm not going to deny the fact that they are long overdue for a TCG game if they want to continue that spinoff.
Honestly, see, the thing with that is they can always add patches to the game to introduce sets later on.
Yeah, I know. Probably as DLC, knowing how most people are going about things these days. Or maybe like when you get a pack of cards, maybe it could come with like a code so that you can get those cards on your video game as well as in real life. That might be an idea.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. It's kind of like what they do right now with the TCGO.
Yeah, only it's mostly, PC playable. It's not a console gaming. But yeah.
Right, and the fact that it doesn't have anything that is older, like older vintage card sets. I mean, the TCGO only covers from, I believe, like Heart Gold, Soul Silver on. They don't have anything before that.
Yeah,
But
that's
honestly, I honestly think that this would be doable, especially right now. I don't think they really have anything a lot in terms of limitations for being able to do this.
It makes you wonder.
But like I said, just like every month, just introduce a couple new sets. But yeah, it's totally doable.
Oh yeah.
And the TCG community does need more love in the aspect of gaming, so I think that's a huge opportunity.
Definitely.
Alrighty. So how are we going to do the lineup for our number one top picks?
I guess whichever order in which we haven't been yet. So I've been first, second. I guess I'll go third this time. Ty, I think you were second and third before, so I think you'd be first. I think Chris would be second. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if I'm going first on my number one pick is actually something they've done before, but I feel like it's long overdue myself. It was originally for the Game Boy Color and the Nintendo 64. Most people I know of are familiar with the Nintendo 64 version, but not so much the Game Boy Color version. But the Game Boy Color version is the one that I admired most. In this game, some people might try to justify, oh, well, they've had variants before when they introduced Pokemon Troze and Pokemon Shuffle and all that stuff. But I really would like to see them revamp the Pokemon Puzzle Challenge that they had on Game Boy Color. Okay, right now I know they got a Pokemon Cafe, which is their newest puzzle game, but I couldn't get into that one. What I want is something like the one they had on Game Boy Color, because I really thought that was different and unique, and I love the intense round, and I just feel like there was a real challenge there. There was something addicting about it. I would really like to see something like that on the Switch, because it's nothing like the stuff that they got nowadays. No commentary, none.
Oh, sorry, I just don't really play many of the puzzle games. I played Pokemon Troze, and it was alright, so I can't really make a comment based off of experience, um, but yeah, there's always room for them to build on that. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have much commentary.
What about you, Chris? Did you play any of them in the past, or?
I can't say that I have, unfortunately.
Oh, y'all are missing out.
Yeah,
There's
as co-hosts, we're not too supportive on this one. I mean, no, we support you, but I mean, vocally, we can't say much more. I'm so sorry.
yeah. Well, it was definitely my favorite, and if you all haven't played it, at least listen to the music. The music is probably the most pure, heartfelt 8-bit music you could probably ever hear throughout the entire franchise. So, but yeah, I don't really guess I have much more to say on that. I live in that nostalgia. So, so Chris, you were going second.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right. My number one. This whole topic came to me after seeing the um the announcement for Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought this was such a groundbreaking game for Pokemon to make. A time before the Pokédex, and you actually have to help actually make the Pokédex for Sinnoh. It was such a cool idea.
It
And
really,
then I started, huh?
it really is.
And then I started thinking, what else would actually be a cool idea for a game? And then I had a thought. There's one thing in the original Pokemon games and probably in the remakes. Not Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Forget those games. But Fire Red and Leaf Green, I think it was said as well. There's one thing that's always stuck out to me. And there's been a lot of theories about this particular thing as well. Does anybody have a guess?
Hmm.
I don't.
I kind of missed out on the GBA error because of financial issues.
Well, you've played the original Kanto games, haven't you?
I have backtracked to red, but I've been hesitant to go much further because I've been trying to master that Mew glitch. I really need to get back on that some more, really.
Got you. Okay. So whenever you fight Lieutenant Surge, he makes one comment that his Pokemon saved him during the war.
Oh, yeah.
There have been so many theories about this war. Nobody knows anything, but there's been so many theories about it. A spin-off game I would love would be the storytelling of this war that happened. And there's so many ways they can go about this. They can make it like a Fire Emblem game to where you can choose yeah, like the newest Fire Emblem game, 3 houses, you could choose out of 1 of 3 houses to be in or something like that. I don't know. Or if you don't play Fire Emblem, Pokemon Conquest. But you choose what side of the war you're on, and you actually play through missions in as that group. And each group has their own missions, has their own cutscenes, endings, and everything. They can either do it that way, or they can make it kind of like a Final Fantasy game. Like you can actually have a party of Pokemon and actually have them doing specific parts of a mission. Let's say you have to do an underwater mission. You can use water Pokemon to like infiltrate something. There's just so many options that they could go with this. There's so many possibilities, and I would actually, I love history, and just learning about the history of the Great Pokemon War, something that we've only heard once from Lieutenant Surge and literally nothing else. But that one line has brought about so many fan theories. I just want to know what war, what happened. This could be the telling of that war.
There was a war in the Pokemon Lucario and Mystery of Mew movie, which that could also tie into it. But yeah, I think that would be an excellent opportunity. But it's funny, you were referencing Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy when you talk when
Yeah.
you were mentioning when you were first referencing this with the war. My first thought was, okay, Call of Duty Raichu with a nuke or something. But I like your references more.
Well, I was just talking about how they could go about it gameplay wise.
Pretty sure that would cause them to change the ratings. I'm not really sure how many people are actually paying attention to that nowadays anyway, though, with the teen and the mature ratings. Yeah.
But just thinking about like your main character with like your team of Pokemon behind you with army hats on and everything, war paint on their face. I'm
It
sorry,
would be
that's
great, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that, Crystal, because whenever you were talking earlier about your honorable mention in Shadow games, you gave me the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh vibe.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, like I was even thinking Yu-Gi-Oh when I was mentioning the ancient times with sorcerers and magic. I've been kind of low-key referencing Yu-Gi-Oh here and there.
Okay, yeah, definitely Shadow games. That
Well,
just set it up for me. I meant to say something earlier, but I was kind of being antisocial for a little bit while you and Ty were talking.
oh, that's okay. So was I.
Fair enough. But yes, I think this would be a really cool idea to do. There's so many opportunities, so much they could do with this, especially because it's just something that hasn't been talked about. But just that one line has done so much. I just think it's about time they expand on that.
Next, you'll be telling me they'll do a Joey's 100% Rattata.
Hey, why not?
Or just incorporate it in the War 1. The reason why it's top percent is because it finished out the war in top percent rankings.
But just imagine being able to ride on a Gyarados and just hyper beam like army ships.
Gosh.
That would be so cool.
It would.
Flying on Dragonite, riding in the water on Gyarados.
Here we go again with that potential. Endless potential.
Right. But yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay.
Or is that your number 1?
Oh yeah, that's my number 1. I'm sleepy.
Yeah. All right. So, without further ado, Crystal, I believe it's yours.
Yep, so my last one, I'd like to say it's the spin-off game in which I'm going to have my cake and eat it too kind of spin-off game.
Okay.
It depends on what type of cake it is.
The good kind. So
So specific.
For the king cake.
so
No, not king cake.
Yes, king cake. You
Blech.
can't tell me you don't love king cake. What kind of king cake you been eating?
King cake is disgusting.
Not when it's filled with cream cheese.
Even the deliciousness of cream cheese cannot save king cake. But anyway, let Crystal speak.
I'm done talking about cake. But
Okay.
but yeah, this game so it's more of an inspirational pull I don't know about you two, but I like Alice in Wonderland a whole lot. And Alice in Wonderland opened many doors. Like watching it, there are a lot of different um, aspects of Wonderland. Like nothing's constant there. And I was also thinking of the Legend of Korra, in which the spirit world, nothing's constant there too. So that was also a little bit of inspiration, but mostly inspired by Alice in Wonderland, in which you're in this alternative dimension and there's this evil queen Pokemon. Let's just call her Vespiquen because I think Vespiquen can pull off the Queen of Hearts well. And your ultimate mission is to vanquish or just to stop the evil queen's reign. And you have to go through all these like many dimensions, many terrain changes, adventures in this Wonderland-like environment. And there are so many different types of challenges to reach the other end of the game. Like you can, like there's just so much you can do. Like you yourself can transform into a few different Pokemon depending on the challenges, or you could just be a trainer and have a series of like 5 to 6 Pokemon with you. Like you can ride Sharpedo aqua jetting in the water while avoiding Quillfish water mines. You can be Salandant in a desert-like area, trying to be stealthy, trying to get around some dangerous Pokemon, kind of like you have to do that in some Legend of Zelda games. You can even have a few traditional battles here and there. I mean, it is a Pokemon game after all, and you can even like go through the floral garden maze, and it'll be a salute to the mystery dungeon games as well. And the whole boss battle with the Vespiquen or whomever, like that can be a salute to Super Smash Bros. Like it just has endless potential, and even have inverse battles in which strengths and weaknesses for types they're inversed, and salute to that. I just see it as a huge bag of pulling from different side games, different aspects of the original story games, and it can be a huge, fun, and appropriately challenging game. But yeah, that's essentially what I have for my number one.
That's kind of neat.
Definitely different though, but I think their biggest barrier or whatever to get over would be the sheer fact that Disney is notorious about their copyrights, and Alice in Wonderland is kind of Disney owned, so that's going to be one hurdle for them to jump over.
Oh yeah, that's just why I'm saying inspired by. Like the Pokemon Company can do whatever the Pokemon Company wants to do with the idea, you know, assuming they hear this idea, which I know they're not, but
It might not be too far fetched though, because I mean, after all, some of Pokemon has ended up on Disney, so that they already kind of got some interlude in there. So they just have to hammer out the details, I guess. So I don't know.
I think it's new. I think it sounds pretty cool too.
And I know I got a friend of mine who's also been to Alice in Wonderland as well. But I think he's more of a fan of the Cheshire Cat, which, yeah, I know I probably didn't say that right.
Everybody's a fan of the Cheshire Cat.
I know, right? It's hard not to love it. But yeah, so. All right, I think that pretty much concludes the podcast. So for the most part, although I kind of wanted to give some shout outs if that's allowed.
we ban free speech here. No, go ahead. You can do your shout outs.
Okay, so I wanted to give a shout out to my friends who invited me to a thunderous raid during the middle of this podcast. Not only did I catch it, it was shiny. And yes, it was in Pokemon Go for those of you who play Pokemon Go. Because I
Blech.
don't, yeah. So, but hey, Shiny Thundurus. Yeah, that's why I was antisocial earlier. I was too busy like fawning over my Shiny Thundurus.
You sad, sad woman.
It's purple. I like it. It's cute.
Thundurus is not one I would associate with being cute.
Yeah, when it's purple,
But
it's
hey, who am I to judge?
yeah. But yeah, and for those of y'all that don't know, I realize this isn't really Pokemon related, but I feel like I deserve some positivity vibes here for the fact that I got my first Moderna shot yesterday.
Congratulations.
Woot. I know you said Moderna, but like, since we're talking Pokemon, and I don't know why, but before you were even mentioning that, I was thinking of Magearna. Is that its name?
Magearna?
Yeah,
But
like
I was
that. Yeah.
just randomly thinking of like a spin-off game with Magearna being like a princess, and you're living the princess life, and then you said Moderna, so my head was just not screwed on right to hear that. But yeah, that is great news. I had my second shot in February, so
Okay.
yay, living.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was eligible until I started doing a little more research. Apparently, my qualifications is my body mass index. I'll take it.
Hey, as long as you get it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Stop the spread.
Phrasing. Anyway, so Crystal, Ty, Chris, any of you have any final statements? No, I'm good.
No final statements from me, so I guess one of you two or both of you can do the closing.
All right. So thank you if you made it this far into the episode of the Pedal Dance Podcast. I don't know why the heck you would, but hey, good on you. You are a trooper. If you like this audio, I can't really say video, but if you like this episode, please give it a like, subscribe, comment, share, do
Report if we
everything that you
offended you.
possibly can. Say what now?
Report if we somehow offended you.
Yeah, report Ty if she somehow offended you, which she probably did.
I'm giving you this stare right now. I know you can't see it.
Yeah, there's no video, only audio, Ty. But yes,
I
that
can
being said,
message you.
like, share, subscribe, comment. Comment if you have anything that you would want us to make a future episode on. We would love some feedback, anything like that. Constructive criticism. Haha, very funny, Ty.
Yeah, there's
And,
your feedback.
gotcha. And with that, this is Chris, along with my co-hosts, Crystal and Ty, saying, see you next time.
Bye!
Arrivederci.